I want to ask you about the election, this crazy election cycle we're in the middle of. How engaged are millennials this time around? We hear a lot about them in relation to Bernie Sanders, but overall, how engaged are they?
Yeah, so very engaged.
And is your data showing you that? I mean, what
yeah,
can you...
it's been super interesting. So 50 of the 100 most clicked stories on Mike over the last year have been on deep policy issues that relate to what millennials really care about, whether it's social justice, women's rights, climate change. We've seen, we're a site that reaches 30 million people a month. Huge numbers on half of our biggest stories have been deep policy stories. So I think you're seeing true engagement, which has been really exciting. When it comes to candidate by candidate, we found that Bernie Sanders stories have overperformed by 50%. We were one of the first news publishers to put reporters on Bernie Sanders' campaign back in last April. People sort of laughed at us, and it turned out that Bernie Sanders was very real.
What about Donald Trump? Okay, I mean, he has to have some millennial fans, right? So what have you found about them?
So we found a couple things. One, in New Hampshire, where you could vote in either primary. We found that our reporters found that there were a lot of young people going from Bernie Sanders rallies to Donald Trump rallies. This was shocking to us, but when we dug in, we realized that some of the same ideas that Sanders and Trump are tapping into, albeit in very different ways, are resonating with millennials. I.e., this idea that the channels and paths of opportunity in America are being closed and shut down for certain groups, and that is resonating amongst a large number of millennials who are loaded with student debt, don't have upwards mobility, and feel like the cards are stacked against them.
Yeah, but the real question with millennials, we won't know until Election Day. I mean, will they really vote? This has always been an issue with the younger vote. Will they come out to the polls? What's your take on that?
So there are as many millennial voters as boomer voters. That's insane. Will they vote? In 2008, they voted in the highest rates ever. In 2012, they voted in higher rates than 2008. I think we're going to see huge millennial voter turnout this year. And honestly, that's part of Mike's mission. I mean, we're successful if we're driving people to show up and participate and vote. And so we'll be doing everything we can to make sure that people get out to vote. We don't have a vested interest in who they vote for, but we want them voting.